everyone, I'm Carly from Prerender.io. This week, I'm taking over the podcast mic from Joe for a bonus episode live from BrightonSEO, one of the top SEO conferences. Going from booth to booth, I speak with guests from leading brands, such as Similarweb, Yoast, and Oncrawl, about one of the biggest shifts in our industry right now and what we're seeing a lot of here at Brighton, AI and its impact on search. Each guest will answer 3 short questions. 1, how would you define AI, keeping with our Season 1 theme? 2, how are you adapting your SEO strategy to AI search? And finally, number 3, what would you recommend to anyone looking to stay ahead of the curve? We're keeping things high level, just like Season 1. Let's dive in. First up, I'm chatting with Klouse, co-founder of OtterlyAI, an AI search analytics platform that helps you track your brand's performance in LLMs, such as ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Gemini.
So, how would you define AI?
It's a very good question. So I think that AI for me is actually the thing that will change society. And I believe it will start with marketing, sales, and customer support first. So, which also includes me, and that's why I'm here. I mean, AI does jobs that are like could do similar things that we don't even maybe like to want to do. So it can do tasks, can solve riddles and bring us solutions, and kind of free up time for us that we can either work on really strategic important things or we spend more time and have fun. So that's my definition.
Love it. How are you guys adapting your SEO strategy to AI search?
First of all, we only have a geo strategy. Because with OtterlyAI, we are focusing on AI search, visibility, monitoring, and how do we adapt? I mean, I think they're very similar aspects and processes. So I often say that SEO marketers who are good at SEO, they will also be good at geo. You know, there are similarities, I don't know which is the more important topic, but I say there is also changes and there you have to adapt. So for example, different content types, AI is always underlying, it's not only blue links anymore. So also the KPIs are changing. That's maybe the most important stuff. You're focusing not on backlinks, impressions, but you're focusing on brand visibility.
Yeah, that's a good one. What would you recommend to anyone looking to stay ahead of the curve?
First of all, start now. I think that's the most important one. Yeah, most of them, they are waiting and looking how, will it stay there or is it really important? And I think it is important. It will come definitely. And you should start now. Even if you don't do it perfect right now, it's fine, but you learn, and that's the most important thing. And then, tools are adapting. There is always a change every other week. OpenAI is changing something. We have to adapt, and you have to learn, and you have to adapt. I think that's the most important thing to stay ahead of the curve.
Nice. Great answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I'm speaking with Sammy, host and brand ambassador at Collaborator.pro, a digital PR and guest posting marketplace.
How would you define AI?
How would I define AI? To try to be different, I'd try to go give a wider definition and encompass anything that's related to automation, probably, and not just talking with GPT. I would say that pre-AI for me was really Zapier and automated everything and gaining time because I use AI to gain time. So I would say that I would make it a bit larger than the actual definition right now that talking to LLM. So I would encompass anything that's related to automation.
I think that's a good answer. Yeah, because most people restrict it to LLMs, but it's not so far than that. Okay, how are you guys adapting your SEO strategy to AI search?
Depending on the clients, depending on the client's expectations, I don't always necessarily adapt too much.
Yeah.
I try to focus on what's the solid, the standards, the basics, and then try to focus on what will bring revenue to my client. So if we're seeing lots of AI search and actually they're bringing zero revenue, just some kind of visibility, I don't necessarily focus on it too much. But on some other industries, if clients are really interested into it, really obsessed by it, well, I might work on it more. And right now, I'm doing more case studies, I'm doing more updates, freshness. Freshness is super important. So I'm running some tests where I'm actually changing the real date and seeing if that changes something, if we get picked up more, instead of just adding the updated date. The case studies are working really well, even old case studies. So this is great too. And the listicles. Listicles are the easiest thing. Like literally, you can use listicles on guest post and also on your own website. Top X agencies, etc. It's being abused, but it's still working. So I'm still doing that quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a classic. What would you recommend to anyone to stay ahead of the curve?
Experiment, test things. I've been building a tool for a client. It's a geo tool. I hate geo and all of that stuff, to be honest. But I started loving it because my clients were like, "Oh, I want a lead gen tool." So I started building it, vibe coding it, and I got interested because I spent more time testing, breaking things, understanding how the LLMs work, how they retrieve information, the fact that it's non-deterministic, you don't going to get always the same answer. And I just got super passionate about it because I started testing and building. So I think if you want to stay ahead, you need to experiment, test, break things, see what works, what doesn't work, and have this experimenting mindset. That's it.
Love it. Are you using Lovable for your vodka now?
Lovable, no, I'm using Replit.
Okay.
Lovable is great, in my opinion, mostly for nice design and everything. But if you want really advanced features and be able to go back and forth with like the coding, I prefer Replit for the backend.
Yeah.
Or Claude AI. Claude is also really great. But Lovable makes amazing design in like no time. So it's also a great tool too.
Yeah. Awesome. And where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me on LinkedIn, Samy Ben Sadok. I'm working at Collaborator.pro too. And if you like shenanigans and sarcasm, you're definitely going to like my content on LinkedIn. Cheers.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm here with Alex from Similarweb, a brand that helps growth and marketing teams make data-driven decisions about visibility, audience reach, and competitive strategy.
So how would you define AI?
AI is the new way people are searching, right? So for all the individuals in the world that went into Google when they were looking for a product or service, now it's all an LLM. So it's the new world of search, the new world of digital activity. It's where everyone's going.
Nice one. How are you guys adapting your SEO strategy to AI search?
It's a very good question. So basically the way I would answer it is, what we are doing as a brand at Similarweb is we're helping other companies understand exactly through competitive benchmarking, market research, market analysis, where all the gaps that exist for any given brand versus the competition, versus the key players in the industry in almost any given region, understanding organically where there are the gaps, where they need to optimize, where they're weaker versus other brands, and based on that, implementing what's working into their own strategy.
What would you recommend to SEOs or anyone in digital marketing to stay ahead?
I would recommend focusing more on the AI side. So you asked the question before we had this nice chat of how we're helping people work with AI type platforms. It's really understanding what people are searching for and how to move your work from straight SEO to actually starting to understand what's going on within these LLMs. What type of topics are ChatGPT favoring at any given time? What are the questions people are likely to ask? Because if we can answer these questions, then we can start to understand why zero-click has skyrocketed over time. And start to say maybe, whereas in the past, organic is one of our top methods of marketing. Now it's maybe going to be organic and AI, GEO, AIO, things like that. Anyone getting into digital marketing, just focus more on the AI side of things.
Next up, I speak with Elaine, principal architect at Yoast, one of the world's leading WordPress SEO plugins. He had a great speech at Brighton, and he has some interesting things to say about AI, especially because of his engineering background. Stay tuned for this one.
How would you define AI?
That it has been a very shape-shifting term over the years. I have been involved with AI in general for a long time already. And what we commonly refer to as AI right now is more like generative AI and how LLMs work, but it is a very narrow part of AI in general. So AI to me just means everything that tries to put decision-making into machine processes in whatever form. And what we refer to as AI right now, I would say generative AI and LLMs and transformers, because AI, often people even cram machine learning into it, which is not quite the same.
Yeah, great answer. How are you guys adapting your SEO strategy to AI strategy?
So we are, of course, trying to figure out where everything is heading towards, identifying not only what is currently happening, but what are the principles behind those changes, those paradigm changes that we see, and where will it ultimately lead to because of the incentives in place. So what are the technological incentives, what are the economic incentives, how are the business models changing around content, around web, around search. And we want to figure out where we need to be so that we're ready once this transition goes to the next phase. So right now we're doing a lot of experimentation, of course. We're listening to different indicators, but also we are in constant discussions with some of the large companies that are behind those AI transformations and behind the protocols that are shaping the next version of the web. to make sure that we're always ahead of the game, or we're part of those changes.
And what would you recommend to anyone looking to stay ahead of this curve?
So first of all, don't listen to the hype in both directions. Don't listen to things like all of this is now working like magic. I need to listen to this is that and that is that. Because all of that, that's just attention grabbing right now, and there are not that many clear answers yet, and anyone who's selling those is probably just selling and not having the answers. You should listen to the indicators, see what patterns are emerging, and most of all, try to understand what the economic incentives are of all these changes. Because most of the time, whenever there's changes like that, things ultimately always follow the money, and that is the same even for things where we don't directly relate them to money, like the open web and standards and protocols and open source. Everything ultimately, even then, boils down to it.
Thank you so much.
I'm now with Danielle from Oncrawl, a brand that connects directly with your server logs to show you how crawlers interact with your site.
How would you define AI?
AI, I think, is a new tool that's becoming part of the search landscape, and that's really helping us do things differently. I know it's a big change from how we traditionally used to do SEO, but I think it's a landscape that's continually changing, and AI is just a kind of new iteration of how we do search.
So how are you guys adapting your SEO strategy to AI search?
We are not looking at it as a competitor. We're looking at it as a way to enhance what we already do. So, for instance, we recently released a new feature called our Oncrawl lenses, and it integrates AI into the tools that we already have that help you interpret and better understand your data. So we're using AI to kind of boost what we already do and help us do it faster and smarter.
Thanks. What would you recommend to any SEO to stay ahead in this new landscape?
Read a lot. Come to things like Brighton SEO, go to the conferences, listen to a lot of what people have to say, stay connected to people on LinkedIn because it's changing so much and so fast. And I think just really reading and listening to what some of the experts are doing and testing is the best way to stay ahead of what's going on.
Nice. Great answers. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Joining me next, Stephen from Majestic, one of the most comprehensive link index databases in the world, focusing specifically on link relationships between websites.
How would you define AI?
Good question. Really, it's just the use of any machine to emulate any sort of behavior that a human being could do.
Perfect. How are you guys adapting your SEO strategy to AI search?
So, in small, nuanced ways, we're going for a more content-rich environment, such as the SEO in 2025 book and the SEO in 2026 book that will be coming out soon. So we're bringing out more rich content that hopefully AI tools can harvest and educate and inform their own indexes with.
What would you recommend to anyone looking to stay ahead of the curve?
Really come to shows like Brighton, listen to the great speakers that they have here. Yeah, stay open-minded, read and play.
Love it. Great
so much.
answer. Awesome. Thank you so much.
And wrapping up, I'm chatting with Romain, apologies for the mispronunciation, from Fasterize, a French brand that helps teams boost their site speed and deliver smoother digital experiences.
How would you define AI?
AI is a movement that transforms the way we work and act on a daily basis. It's a deep movement that will forever change the world as we know today.
How are you guys adapting your SEO strategy to AI search?
I'm adapting with a solution that's called SEO. Our clients are in an active testing phase with AI strategy. This first step is to understand the behavior of this new generation of bot and to put test and learn at the heart of their strategy. Concretely, they start fixing or enriching their page with as much structured data as possible to make them more understandable. Some also deploy no JavaScript version with, for example, Prerender.io because for AI bot, JavaScript is a bad solution. And that's it. There's a lot of things, but when I read, it's complicated.
Yeah, and so what would you recommend to anyone looking to stay ahead?
I recommend one thing, test and learn. Test and learn is a real research lab to stay ahead of competitor. Before we could breathe easy with a single engine, Google, but today search is everywhere. You need to be present on multi-platform and able to adapt fast. And to do that, you need agentic tool capable of analyzing and adjusting strategy in real time. And technology like Edge SEO will let you deploy optimization instantly.
And that's all for today. Thanks for joining me on this special edition episode of Get Discovered. To learn more about the show or become a guest yourself, visit us at Prerender.io/getdiscoveredpodcast. Joe will be back with you next week. See you then.